out to Gloria Allred, Ray Giudice, Carmen St. George. Gloria Allred, explain to me a secret funeral behind bars for little Caylee?
Yeah, Nancy, I don't think that she's going to receive any special treatment, any different treatment, any better treatment than anyone else, and I think that's highly unlikely. She may, as a PR attempt, try to have some sort of service, or maybe truly she has to grieve for her little baby, but I don't think she's going to get it.
Out to Raymond Giudice, defense attorney out of Atlanta. Let me get this straight, Ray. The state says she murdered her daughter, not an accident, murder one, intentional homicide, that she bound the child's mouth with a duct tape, double bagged her like trash, threw her away. Now she wants to say bye-bye in a funeral behind bars. Thoughts?
Not going to happen. I totally agree with Ms. Allred. However, the defense team may be trying to show how much she cares and how much she wants to weep and grieve over her missing child's death. It's a PR ploy.
Carmen St. George, if that is true, I see no reason why the jury shouldn't hear about it.
Well, the jurors, the potential jurors, might hear about it from media coverage, Nancy.
No,
but,
I mean in court, Carmen, where it counts.
I don't think that's going to come out in court. I think this is out of the legal system. It's a decision by the warden.
Off your daughter's funeral? A PR stunt?
You can qualify it as that now, if that's what you're saying, but she might say, you know, I wanted to grieve for my daughter and I wanted to have a funeral. It's going to be ultimately up to the warden. I doubt seriously she'd be given the opportunity to do this, because people are going to say, basically, she's charged with killing her daughter. She now should not get the benefit of having a burial, having a funeral service.
Well, let me give you my legal opinion to the lawyers. Gloria Allred joining us, typically in L.A., joining us tonight from our Manhattan studios. Ray Giudice from Atlanta, Carmen St. George, New York. It will be a cold day below before the prosecutors are thrown off the case. Ray, have you ever seen, as a prosecutor, yes, I would say every other case I tried, the defense tried to throw me off the case. One time they tried to throw me off the case because they said I was too familiar with the facts. Okay, didn't work. Will it work this time?
I don't think so, Nancy. However, the bar complaint has been dismissed against Mr. Baez, and I do think it is curious in the middle of a very contested piece of litigation for an anonymous phone call to come out of the state's attorney's office.
That's the best you've got, Ray?
All I'm saying is...
curious?
Nancy, I answered your question. They're not going to be thrown off. I think it's unprofessional, if you want a better word, to file an unmeritorious bar complaint, which was dismissed within 10 days against opposing counsel. Maybe those lawyers ought to man up and put their name on it if that's how they feel.
And to you, Gloria Allred, bottom line, especially in a case of this magnitude, if you found out the defense attorney may have a book or TV deal contingent on the outcome of the case, wouldn't you feel it was your duty to report that?
Well, absolutely, Nancy. And by the way, I would have said, why don't they woman up if they're going to do it rather than man up? But in any event, yes, the question is, does the conduct amount to a violation of the canon of ethics in that state, of the standards that lawyers are supposed to adhere to when they represent clients? And if, in fact, they do violate it, then, yes, that needs to be reported and needs to be an investigation.
Carmen?
I don't think it's going anywhere, Nancy. I think this is just another motion in front of the judge. It's going to be another string-along of motions in this long, long, long upcoming trial, and I really don't think it has any merit.
Ray? Ray?
I said no.
Carmen?
No, Nancy.
And Ray, that was actually 3 words, but, you know, whatever. Out to the lines, Jackie in California. Hi, Jackie. Let's go to the lawyers. Gloria Allred, family law attorney, victims' rights advocate. Raymond Giudice, defense attorney, Atlanta. Carmen St. George, defense attorney, New York. Gloria, here's the kicker. The search for chloroform, how to make homemade chloroform, was a long period of time before little Caylee was murdered, before chloroform was found in the trunk. That says to me premeditation.
Yes, that's true. There's an argument that there's premeditation, but of course the state is not compelled to seek the death penalty. It's a discretionary act or decision, And they may feel that, in fact, it might concern a jury and they might not get a conviction if, in fact, they sought the death penalty.
To Raymond Giudice, you know, a lot of people use the lay or the street concept of premeditation, such as a long, protracted planning process, such as a poisoning death that lasts months and months and months, a tiny snip of arsenic every other day. That's not what premeditation is under the law. It can be formed in the twinkling of an eye.
That's right. An instant where you change from a non-intentional act to an intentional act, when you change from a plan or an idea to strike someone purposely on the head with a hammer that you picked up off the floor. That's how fast it can form, and that's correct. Let me just last say to the caller, I don't think the death penalty is off the table. The state has decided at this point in time not to invoke the death penalty or to ask for it, but they're not precluded from doing that later on.
You know, Ray, I like that example you gave about raising a hammer. I remember telling juries premeditation can be formed in the twinkling of an eye, and it can be formed in the time it takes you to raise a gun and pull the trigger. That's all the time that is necessary under the law.
Florida.
To Gloria Allred, Ray Giudice, Carmen St. George. Gloria, if these allegations are true, what is the penalty in the U.S. for extortion?
Well, I guess it's a state-by-state matter if, in fact, there's a state crime that is alleged, but certainly a lengthy sentence, and, of course, they're charged not only with extortion but conspiracy to commit extortion.
Right.
It would be a felony, and if they use interstate phones or anything like that, phone